people play with people intelligence the way they play with people intelligence and intellect. You know, the way they do today. You know, people are telling lies for a living. You know what I mean?
Tony Yayo just stepped into the spotlight and put Jay Prince on blast, exposing what could be one of the boldest shakedown moves the rap game's ever seen. Jay Prince, the quiet boss of Houston, tried to hit 50 Cent with that check-in pressure play, but 50 wasn't having it. Instead of backing down, he flipped the whole script and pulled the curtain back on what looked like a power move gone wrong. And now, what used to be silent tension just erupted into a full-blown clash. G-Unit's no-nonsense discipline versus the street authority of Houston's underworld. This heat didn't come out of nowhere, though. It's been brewing under the surface for a long time. If we're gonna understand how wild this really is, we gotta run it back, way back. See, Jay Prince, the mastermind behind Rap-A-Lot Records, isn't just some industry exec. He's got real pull. People in Houston talk about him like a legend. He doesn't make noise. He makes moves, silent, calculated, powerful. And in that city, his name rings out with serious weight. People don't fear Jay Prince because he's loud. They fear him because his name holds serious weight. For years, he's been the quiet power behind the scenes in Houston. If you were an artist pulling up in H-Town and didn't check in, you might end up leaving without your chain or not leaving at all. That's the kind of reputation he built. But then you've got 50 Cent. From day one, he was never into that mob ties talk. Back in the day, he was already going at it with Ja Rule, Irv Gotti, and the whole Murder Inc. crew. He made a whole career off standing 10 toes down. His G-Unit movement, built like a military squad. No bowing down, no hand kissing, and definitely no buying protection. That attitude, it set the tone early. So when rumors started flying that 50 might move to Houston, that had the streets buzzing. Why? Because if he pulled up and didn't check in with Jay Prince, that's not just disrespect. It's a straight-up declaration of war. And guess what? It did happen. At first, it was a silent standoff, more Cold War than chaos. 50 kept running New York, doing what he does best, clowning people online and staying loud with the trolling. Meanwhile, Jay Prince stayed posted in Houston like the city's quiet kingpin. They tossed a few shots at each other from a distance until 50 randomly dropped a bomb on Twitter that changed everything. "I love New York, but I live in Houston now. I'll explain later." That's what 50 Cent casually tweeted. And just like that, the internet lit up. But don't get it twisted, 50 didn't dip to Houston for attention. This was a power play. New York's insane taxes were draining his pockets, so H-Town made perfect sense. Bigger spaces, better money moves, and a buzzing hip-hop scene just waiting to explode. Plus, Branson Cognac needed that Southern foundation, and Houston's liquor game, straight fire. 50 wasn't just moving, he was plotting. The goal was bigger than rap. Blend into the culture, plant his flag, push the brand, and flip entertainment cash back into the city. But here's the kicker. He did it without checking in. And that hit Jay Prince like a slap to the face. Word on the street, Jay Prince felt like 50 was trying to come in and take the crown without showing proper respect. People started whispering that Jay sent folks to press him, even tried to get him to pay up for street-level security. But 50? Nah, he wasn't having none of it. 50 made it loud and clear to his camp. G-Unit rolls with their own squad. We don't need nobody's protection, and we sure ain't paying for fake respect. That's when things hit a new level. Word started spreading that Jay Prince allegedly tried to hit 50 with a no-fly zone in Houston. Basically, he was saying, "You're not welcome here." Now, let's keep it real. That kind of threat might scare off some up-and-coming artists. But 50? He laughed in the face of it. He turned Instagram into his personal stage, trolling Jay Prince like it was some reality TV promo. Memes, slick captions, and low-key shots. He clowned the entire situation for the world to see. He wasn't just trolling for laughs either. He was making a statement. He wasn't playing that mob game. He dared Jay Prince to pull up or fall back. But behind the internet jabs, things were spiraling. 50 had big dreams in motion. He was setting up a $20 million G-Unit film and TV studio right there in Houston. It was supposed to bring real jobs, internships, and put the city in a spotlight. But suddenly, plans changed. That whole project got yanked and moved to Shreveport, Louisiana instead. 50 tried to play it cool, saying the move to Shreveport was all about better infrastructure. But come on, if you were really watching, you know that's not the full story. The truth? Houston's street politics were heating up fast, and 50 wasn't about to get caught slipping in a snake pit. He saw the vibes shift and decided to slide out before things got sticky. But here's where it gets poetic. Jay Prince might have wanted him out, but the city, Houston had other plans. By 2022, just 1 year after 50 touched down, Houston wasn't just letting him be. They were rolling out the red carpet. The man got honored like royalty. Mayor Sylvester Turner didn't just welcome him, he gave him the key to the city. And not just that, he officially made November 24th 50 Cent Day during the big Thanksgiving Day parade. That moment was wild. The mayor called him a straight-up role model, philanthropist, boss, and community supporter. He shouted out the G-Unity program for uplifting high school kids, and the whole crowd, they went crazy. 50 stood there like the hometown king he wasn't supposed to be. 50 was posted up on that parade float like he'd been repping Houston since day one, like he was born in the H. But it wasn't just a show. Through his G-Unity Foundation, 50 started putting in real work for the city. He didn't just talk about giving back, he did it. Turkey drives, toy giveaways, school donations. He turned charity into a movement, and he wasn't moving solo either. He linked up with the Houston Rockets, Texans, and Astros through his Sire Spirits brand, turning business into blessings. In 2023, he dropped $850,000 worth of toys on the community. Not even a year later, in 2024, he went even bigger, helping raise $500,000 for the Houston Children's Charity. But wait, it gets crazier. He auctioned off 2 massive bottles of his Le Chemin du Roi champagne, and just from that, $500,000 raised. That whole event brought in a jaw-dropping $6 million. 50 didn't just land in Houston, he took over with class, clout, and cash. The city embraced him like family, and he returned the love tenfold. While 50 was getting crowned in the streets, Jay Prince was allegedly watching the whole thing unfold like a king who just lost his throne. For years, he ran Houston from the shadows, quiet power, deep respect. But now, he had to watch another man get love in broad daylight, cameras flashing, and the crowd screaming. That's when Tony Yayo, G-Unit's loudest voice, stepped in to spill the tea on why they never played that check-in game. During a sit-down with Vlad TV, Yayo broke it down raw. The whole check-in system? It's just a fancy setup for artists to get lined up and taxed. Check in, pay up, or risk getting robbed. That's how it really went down, according to Yayo. Jay Prince built his whole image around protecting artists visiting Houston. But that protection came with a price. He labeled himself the King of H-Town and created this friendly check-in system that on the surface sounded harmless. But once you look closer, it starts to feel like a straight-up street hustle in disguise. Just a clean-cut way to push artists into paying for peace. The rule was simple. If you're a rapper pulling up in Houston, you better check in with Jay, or risk everything. When Prince says pay your respects, what he really means is run them pockets, that so-called respect. It's a straight-up fee. Supposedly, it's all to keep you safe and make sure that if your chain disappears, it somehow finds its way back. But if you don't check in, that's when things can flip ugly, fast. Tony Yayo didn't hold back. He brought up Pop Smoke's tragic death as a cold warning. When artists depend on shaky street alliances, instead of handling security the right way, they become easy targets. It ain't about trust, it's about leverage. Yayo made it crystal clear. That type of protection always comes with strings. And when things go sideways, don't expect anyone to save you, because the truth is, no one's really coming. He even threw up a big red flag, all these mob ties and street-level gangster moves. That's how you catch Fed-level heat. This ain't the 90s anymore. When you're talking organized shakedowns and artists getting set up, you're talking straight-up Rico territory. Yayo said it plain, G-Unit doesn't owe favors. They stay ready, self-sufficient, and strapped with their own squad. They weren't about to play into anyone's trap. And from here, this whole thing starts to get real grimy. NBA YoungBoy touched down in Houston on business and straight up refused to check in. Next thing you know, his spot gets hit. Chains, gone, cash, snatched, car keys, vanished without a trace. Then out of nowhere, Jay Prince pops up on Instagram like some street-level superhero, claiming he recovered the stolen goods. But instead of handling it behind closed doors, he posted a video, like it was some reality show reveal. YoungBoy didn't let that slide. He clapped back hard, calling Jay out for what it looked like straight clout chasing. He said if it was really about helping, it wouldn't be blasted all over Instagram like some 60-year-old chasing likes. And guess who chimed in? Cameron and Mahe pulled up with their own takes, throwing more fuel on an already blazing fire. They dragged J. Prince for acting like he's still running the streets like it's 1995. Critics weren't holding back. They said real OGs are supposed to uplift, not shake folks down. And if you're still out here playing mob boss in your 60s, that ain't power, that's failure, plain and simple. Then there's the dice games. J. Prince's second favorite pastime after intimidation, if the streets are to be believed. These high-stakes games are legendary in Houston, but not for the right reasons. The Whispers. They say it's all a setup, a trap for rappers who roll in too comfortable. And the most heartbreaking story tied to these games? Takeoff. We all remember that night, a dice game turned deadly, and Takeoff, one of the calmest, most chill artists in the game, lost his life. But behind the scenes, the rumors got dark. Word is J. Prince was upset that Takeoff and Quavo didn't check in the right way. Allegedly, he told his people to scare them a little, just a warning shot. But things spiraled fast. What was supposed to be a message turned into tragedy. Takeoff's life was taken. And J. Prince slid right past accountability like he's done it before. Anytime the Takeoff situation comes up, J. Prince either deflects, mumbles through interviews, or downplays it like it's no big deal. But the crazy part, he basically admitted to destroying evidence like it was nothing. And here's the chilling truth. Takeoff wasn't the only one caught in this mess. Remember Duke the jeweler? The man hit big, won $100,000 in one of those infamous dice games. Probably thought he was walking away from the best night of his life, but before he could even make it to his car, he was ambushed, robbed, and killed. Just like that. Another talented black man gone over what? A rigged setup and a twisted street code that values fear over fairness. When you line that up next to what 50 Cent's been doing, building centers, feeding families, creating opportunities, it's no contest. One man's building a legacy, the other's clinging to power with fear and backdoor politics. And here's where it flips. 50 ain't just trolling anymore. According to whispers in the industry, he's allegedly collecting receipts, gathering evidence, watching, waiting. Because this time, he might be ready to bring everything into the light.